is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Oh, happy Monday. It is the Jason Walker Show. I think we are on the air. I think. You take some time off and then all of a sudden nothing works when you get back. Had a wonderful week plus off. Did some golfing, hung out with the little one. She started swim lessons, which is awesome. And just had a good time. Also did a little bit of shaving. Got going with the mustache look. Just the stash. So looking forward to that. Big show coming up today. We're going to check in with Flint Rasmussen here in just a couple of moments. And also going to talk COVID. We're going to talk Derby. We're going to talk a whole bunch of stuff today. And a whole lot more. So we're trying to get literally everything working. I know we're on, there we go. We're on YouTube. Hey, there we go. We are on the Twitter now too, and the pod, whatever it's called. Periscope, that's what it's called, I think. So there you go. We are. I think we're doing pretty well here on the Jason Walker Show. All right. So had a good time off, like I said. Had a very good time, and did some golfing and just some playing around. Had a good time, and it was a lot of fun. Just to relax. Had a great fourth with the little one. She got to enjoy setting off fireworks, the little ones. But she had a lot of fun. And because she is a fun little girl to hang out with. So there you go. All right. Montana, 85 new COVID cases reported Monday. That is 858 active cases that we have now. Is that right? And almost 340 are in Yellowstone County, which is where the Big Sky State Games kick off this week with the Montana Mile. Joe Cusack, who used to work with the Billings Gazette, tweeted out today, and I have to agree with him. Yellowstone County has the most cases in the state of Montana, right? Nearly 330 or 340. Should we be having the Big Sky State Games? And it's a legitimate question. Because with all of that going on, with all of the COVID, you're going to put all these athletes together, and that's going to be okay. And it'll be interesting to see what happens after this weekend. So what is today? So about the first week of August, we should see even more cases because of COVID-19 and because of the fact that the Big Sky State Games are going to be held majority in Billings starting this weekend, and Yellowstone County has almost 350 cases active. Just a thought to think about, okay? And that is where we're at. Missed a graduation party. Maisie Burnham graduated this week at, she graduated back last month, but had her big party. And you recognize the name, Match Burnham, Chase Burnham, great basketball players and great students for Carroll College. Their younger sister, who's going to go to Eastern Washington, she graduated. and had her party over the weekend, did not go, keeping the family. Washington's a hotbed. Driving through Idaho, it's a hotbed. And driving through Missoula County, where there's a hotbed. So we played it safe, missed the graduation, and sad about that. Very sad about that. And we'll get Maisie's gift sent off, though. But anyway, what else? So we talked COVID, timeout. Oh, Darby Jeff Snavely resigned, rightfully so, on Friday morning. Darby school sent it out. He was the coach that was suspended for a year, caused a lot of uproar, and upset a lot of people. But he resigned. A lot of people saying that he resigned so that he wouldn't have to change himself and fix himself. Or he could have just resigned and figured, you know what, I'll step away and let someone else take over. Trying to get a hold of Flint here. And maybe that's it. I mean, the guy was in the wrong. He shouldn't have even been suspended. He should have been fired for what he wrote back in June. Or May 31st, actually. Protesters in Salt Lake, he said that they should all be strung up and hang in public like the old days. That's what he said. He didn't call it any race or anything. He said it wasn't racist. There was no racial connotation in there other than saying that they should all be hanged in public. But you know what? A lot of people were hanged back in the good old days. That includes vigilantes, Bannock, Henry Plummer, and that. What he did, wrong, absolutely should have been fired. Okay? So that's where he's at. And that's where the Darby coach. We're having Flint is so funny. We'll get Flint on the air. But he should have definitely been fired, and he resigned instead, and that's where we're at. So there is Flint. I see him now. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I got Flint Rasmussen. We're going to take a break, though. We had the audio. We'll come back. We'll talk to Flint, and also wanting to talk about the Washington Redskins a little bit later on. Flint Rasmussen, though, when we come back, PBR. Man, what a great run they've had recently. And we'll talk to Flint when we return here at Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a Monday, back in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Had a very nice, some time off. It was a great time over the 4th of July. So anyway, we're going to talk Washington Redskins coming up and some other stuff I got some thoughts about. But I want to get to our guest. He joins us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. He is such a great friend of the show, and every time I reach out, he says he's available, and he typically is. His name is Flint Rasmussen. He is the great PBR entertainer, and I believe he's going to join us now here on the Jason Walker Show. Are you there, buddy? Oh, did we lose you? Did we lose you already? Flint, where you at, buddy? All right, well, we'll work on Flint. We had him. I could see him. I could hear him, everything. And now he's gone. But we'll try to get him back. All right. I'll keep an eye open on that. So this segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. We've talked a lot about the table that my wife bought at Rucker's Furniture. And how it's really cool. And it is. But I keep forgetting the time. So when she was pregnant with the little one, we went to Rucker's because we wanted like a rocking chair. And it was awesome. And we got the footrest that moves with you. And for the longest time, I rocked and hung out and rocked with the little girl. And it was so much fun. The little baby and I grew accustomed to that rocking chair. They have those chairs at Rucker's Furniture, okay? You need to go down and check it out, and I promise it'll be well worth your time. You know what I think we're just going to do is, I don't know if we'll get audio or video, but we'll definitely do audio here if he answers. Are you there, my friend?
Hi, buddy.
Hey, technology's great, and you got a couple of old guys like us trying to figure it out. Who knows? Who knows?
You know what? I have become I really credit myself have learned a lot through all this. To be on video, I have a really cool, I call it my Zoom set, because everybody has one now on the news, and I got my Sacramento Kings jersey in the background. I mean, disappointing. I like video better than just being on the phone.
Yeah, no, I do too. I'd like, because I had you during the commercial. You looked good. You got your glasses going on today. What little hair you have left is combed. You look good.
More than Will.
That is true. He got it. He's got it in the back.
He's got the skullet going on.
He does,
and usually the wet look. Still.
When he's working, it's definitely the wet look. There is no.
Well, here's also why I wanted you to be able to see me. So my TV is muted in the background, but do you know what movie is playing? So fitting for you. On it's AMC right now. Currently Bob Uecker is doing the play-by-play.
So Major
Billy
League.
Hayes is on first. Yeah, I turned it on and I heard straight ball I hit very far. Curveball. That's our phrase.
They are.
You might want to think about taking Jesus Christ as your savior.
you trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Yeah. I like Jesus. I like him very much. He helps with curveball. You say my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball. There you go. That's what's happening in my life.
And that's fantastic. I think I could quote every single line in that movie. I've seen it more than any other movie in my life.
I know we have good business to get to, but it is very sad that I have a T-shirt with a picture of Jobu on it, and it said, It is very bad to steal JB's rum. Very bad. Do you know how many young guys like bull riders come up and go, "What's with the T-shirt?" I don't. And that's just sad. I mean, that's probably sadder than everything going on in our country.
Right? Yeah, forget all that stuff. No, Flint Rasmussen joining us here. Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Yeah, there's some fun stuff to talk about, but I do love that movie. The second one was okay. The third one was horrendous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just stop at one.
Yeah.
It's like Caddyshack. Yeah. So what have you, did I see on your ad today, you're covering a lot of things. I see your posts, social media. You're covering the Redskins stuff.
Yep.
Did you cover that today, or is that later in the show?
It's later. I got on the air a little late because of a technical difficulty. So
but really?
Yeah. No, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get on that a little bit later today because I have some thoughts.
Do you follow me? I want to contribute something, not an opinion, but a thought of where we've gone. If you follow me on Facebook on my fan page, on my public page, I put a long post on today, and anymore, this is where our country has gone a little bit, even though on that subject, I don't feel that I'm qualified to give an opinion or speak on behalf of anyone who might be offended by the term Redskins, the logo, whatever. That's but I, through it all, and I think people took it wrong because I have hundreds of comments under it, and most of them are just thanks for the story, but a few are saying I gave an opinion, which in today's world, if you mention something, you're giving an opinion, talking negative.
Right.
I posted a cool picture I've had on my phone, and I wish I had the photo source. Somebody maybe will step forward. Kind of explaining where my impression from my youth of when I see a team with the name Indians or Chiefs or Warriors in Montana, I think of Browning, Lodgegrass, whatever basketball. And I posted a cool picture of the Browning Indians running out on the floor in their full feather headdresses.
Yep.
And just said, I'm not giving an opinion. I'm giving a memory from my youth and from now come tournament time. The guys drumming and singing on the side of the court, and they come out in their full headdresses. I don't know that the rest of the country understands where we stand because of our background on it, where when we see a team named the Indians, they're Indians. They're, Browning, I have a lot of friends up there, and they have such pride in being the Browning Indians and that culture. And I'm sure all the kids playing know what wearing a feather headdress means in their family and to their culture. And I brought that up to friends because I have a lot of friends from around the country, from the East Coast, from California. Their mouths drop when I talk about that. I showed that picture to a couple older gentlemen in Las Vegas, and they said, "Isn't that cultural appropriation?" And I said, "Look at the team. And instantly that's their reaction when it's a team full of Native American young men. Mm-hmm. And so it's funny. That's I'm not giving an opinion on the Redskins logo. What I'm doing is saying that's where my background in the topic comes from, is guys with pride. I, this past weekend, wore a new uniform of mine with Native American print on it. And the new one I have is white and red and black. And it's all the years as a kid. The Browning Indians always had the coolest uniforms. Mm-hmm. And we designed one, using that in mind. Anyway, look at my post, and I tell a story of, the heart of the Blackfeet Reservation. I tell it because so many of my followers on Facebook are from areas where they don't experience that. And it's a great memory. And, who doesn't love to go to the state tournament,
right,
and watch some reservation basketball?
Well, and that's just it's so good. I mean, I remember the days of, Hardin and Park High when the Furches played, or Browning and Park High. It was just up and down, and it was great basketball. And what's great about your story, and I'm showing it on the feed right now, I've got the great picture of the team running out in full headdress. It's fantastic. But you talk a lot, too, about Browning being the home of Blackie Wetzel, and Lance Wetzel being an assistant at Helena High. Jake Wetzel, we know the Wetzels from Great Falls, really from all over the state. But he was the guy that designed the original Washington Redskins logo. It was modeled after a Blackfeet chief Two Gun to White Calf, and now we have to change the name, and because money talks, and that's essentially what Dan Snyder finally caved to, is my opinion. But no, your picture's great, and I shared it on my Facebook page and also on the show page as well. You can go to Jason Walker Show or Flint Rasmussen, but great story, great picture.
Yeah, and like I said, it's funny that I got to keep saying this and keep saying it because people become deaf to it when they look at the picture. I didn't give an opinion. It's not my place to say. I almost feel like, well, can we? The logo was designed with pride in a Blackfeet chief.
Mm-hmm.
Can they keep the logo and change the name? If it's the word Redskins, and I'd have to ask. I mean, I have in my time asked some of my friends from up in Browning. I remember I asked Dustin Bird once, Dakota Lewis, and they don't have a problem. I don't want my friends to speak for everyone, but if it's the name that's offensive, could you change the name but keep the logo? Again, on my post, I'm not giving an opinion. I'm giving my good memories of seeing such pride in the culture. I just think it's cool. And I have a lot of friends up there that rodeo that are athletes that, it was always a fun time seeing Scotty and Dutch and Skinny Campbell up there. Anyway, I got good fun. Anyway. So.
No, it's absolutely true. And it's just, I've got a thing I'm going to read a little bit later on. It's an email that was sent to a guy in Chicago and talks about name changes and,
where
we're at.
Well, it's our time. We're canceling things that, with that aside, let's throw that one out.
Right.
Because that one's been going on a very long time.
It has. Here's the thing.
Throw that out. There's a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Well, and I've been saying this about cancel culture for a couple of weeks now. Flint Rasmussen joins us here. And I know I'm not going to get you in trouble by me talking about this, but, I'm offended by the Grizzlies. Anything related to the Grizz, the logo, the name, everything.
Yeah.
We need to cancel the University of Montana.
Oh, God. Don't even say anything about canceling anything at a university because my girls are already panicked about school getting canceled again. And, oh, my gosh, what a mess. Yeah, what a mess.
It's going to be ugly.
When I do a Facebook Live broadcast every Tuesday night, and I have really I'm a numbers guy. So if I ever talk about it, I give numbers and percentages. And a lot of times I say my only opinion is always the panic doesn't equal the numbers all the time. I'm a stats guy. But this is and this will lead into why I'm usually on your show, but PBR this weekend, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I've been tested 8 times. I'm 8 for 8. I'm 0 for 8, so to speak. Every person that steps into our bubble gets tested every single week. We are so tired. And when I say, well, I'm not saying tired of the process and I'm sick of this crap, which we are, but it's not, I had a lot of people come to me and say, oh, I bet you're so excited for Sioux Falls and to get back in the arena. And, well, yeah, but it's not the same atmosphere. It's not the same feel for all of us because we're so restricted. Couldn't go in the crowd, couldn't break that plane of the fence, couldn't shake people's hands, couldn't go up and sign autographs, sign jerseys for the people. It's just different. Yes, it is good to be back to work, but I'm really trying to avoid the at least you're working statement because I feel that's one more tranquilizer dart in my system to make me accept everything that's going on as normal, and it's not. And I'm not saying anything about politics, all that crap. I mean, I don't want to let my guard down to the point that I'm okay with all this. I want full arenas. I want the band. I want, so I don't go for the at least you're working because when you do what I do, whether you're a performer, a singer, a pro athlete, that doesn't cut it. That's why we like to perform in front of 10,000 people because we're not happy with just at least I'm working.
Right.
So with that, Sioux Falls is a great little city, one of our smaller markets, one of our greatest fan bases, one of the coolest governors over there. Just a nice lady, really worked hard to make this happen for us. We sold 50% was the maximum capacity we can go right now, no matter what. And it was sold in groups of 2 to 8 people. So they were spread out over the entire arena. So I have a feeling that some places, rodeos or whatever, say, well, we'll sell 60% of the tickets, and they sell them general admission. Everybody sits together.
Yeah.
Well, ours are spread out through a 10,000 seat arena, so it seems very sparse.
Right.
But they were into it. It was, I kind of rambled a little bit there, which I do, but good to be back in front of people.
Well,
and they're very responsive.
I'm showing the picture that your boss, Sean Gleason, shared, and I think you shared it, I shared it, but Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota brought in the colors on Saturday night. What an amazing photo, and what an amazing governor. I actually said, and I'll say this, I wish she was Montana's governor right now, but she is.
It's your show. I'll let you go there. I'm good. It's funny. Again, I posted a picture. I got my picture taken with a governor of a state, and that's an office that I deeply respect, and I appreciate her. And I posted it, and all I said was, "Good to chat with Governor Kristi Noem. She is a cowgirl, because she rode that horse like a champ.
Right.
I mean, she's a cowgirl." And again, people chime in, "Oh, politics, blah, blah, blah." I would post a picture of me and a president. That's what's happening. You can't even bring something up without then but she was a great lady. She grabbed me and said, "We need to get a picture taken." No, she did. Somebody said, "Oh, not setting a good example. She didn't have a mask on." No. She believes as governor, she's going to lead and be strong and not do it. So that's her deal. It's her state. So
I'm showing the picture right now. I'm not sure who looks better, you or her.
Hey,
you've got a lot more makeup on.
Yeah, completely.
She doesn't.
Hey, can you see in the picture her legs are bent like she's almost sitting? She was being a smartass and squatting down so I was taller than her. That's exactly what she was giggling, saying, "Here, do you need me to squat down for you?" And
so funny.
So and then I slipped her my number. Yeah. No, I didn't. I'm joking.
Wow. She's been a rock star the last couple of weeks. There's no question about that. Flint Rasmussen joining us. So it went off without a. Well, not without a hitch, but it went off. You guys started this in Guthrie, Oklahoma. You went to Vegas. You finish up this championship in South Dakota over the weekend. Lot of fun, and it was a team event. And I kept saying this on social media too, because everybody was saying, "Oh, NBA is coming back," or MLS, or this, whatever. The original team event that came back was the PBR.
Yeah. Even though bull riding's not really a team sport, you don't pass somebody the ball, and it was teams of 3 guys against 3 guys, and really the team that rode the most bulls won. And it was a great month for us to really, fill some gaps for CBS Sports Network and CBS, give people competition to watch, bringing some of it. Really, if you watched, and for people listening who don't know about anything about rodeo and PBR, I'm not really in the rodeo business. I'm in the PBR, but these teams were, Jose Vitor Leme, the best bull rider in the PBR currently, got to pick first to put his team together. He picked Sage Kimsey, the 6-time pro rodeo world champion. Mm-hmm. Then there was teams of rodeo guys. So everybody was in one building and mixing it up. And it was a good come together for all the bull riders time. And it was a great month of some fun, different stuff for sure.
I'm showing the photo of you and all the bullfighters. I'm surprised that they let you back on their team after a couple of months of being in the broadcast booth.
I'm like the creepy uncle that comes to the party. And, oh God, we gotta let Uncle Flynn in the party. Those guys, what's funny is I was around at all those just in a different aspect. And so I don't know that people who gave up sports a long time ago or don't do this realize that the part you miss is the locker room and that sort of thing. So it was good to be back in there. They were worried my clothes wouldn't fit.
Well, they were probably a little tighter, weren't they?
Actually, I'm okay, buddy.
Oh, nice.
I've been working it pretty hard. I felt pretty good physically. I'm sore today. I am. My body's tired. So we had a local time 12:30 show, Sioux Falls time yesterday, and I got my car after and drove all the way home. Got home about 1 a.m.
Nice.
So
nice.
my whole body is. I think the word is rickety. That's a good word, rickety.
That's not bad for you.
But now, yeah. So now they've PBR is. I know we just released what looks like a lot of our second half of the season schedule at PBR.com, and Billings is on that schedule.
I saw that.
And so I think here's what I want to make clear, and our CEO is working directly with them to really make this clear. The Nile Stock Show canceled and rodeo. And I don't think you and I have talked about this. You don't just cave. This isn't, we're scared. It's to have an entire stock show, a rodeo, all those cowboys coming in. It's just was impossible for them to have a rodeo.
Right.
And they've taken heat. And I talked to our CEO Saturday night. I said, could you please do everything you can as an organization to work with the Nile and make sure that people don't backlash against them and say, well, if the PBR did it, why can't you do it?
Right.
And we are, as an organization, working to do that. We have the resources, and we've done it already. We know how to sell blocks of, pods of tickets. But for Billings, for people in Montana, it's still the most we can go is 50%. And if we're going to Bismarck, North Dakota in a few weeks, if their governor said, no, sell all the tickets, we would still only be 50%. We're in a different public eye being on national television and being owned by Endeavor, the huge sports marketing company. And the reason we do that 50%, now if a local rodeo goes and sells all those tickets and there is a surge in cases of COVID in town after, they're gone. It's done.
Yep.
We cannot, if we go to a city and we sold all those tickets and there was a surge in cases, we would be done. They would shut us down every other city. So we got to be really, really careful. And I say we, the organization, but our CEO, Sean Gleason, who's been on this show, what he goes through every single day. I can't imagine, the people can't imagine the work our organization's gone through to do this. So Billings, we're working with the Nile. It wasn't their fault. There was just too many restrictions, and we've already got a plan in place and have been doing it for a month and a half. So, or 2 months, we kind of know what we're doing here. So hopefully nothing goes backwards and we get denied again, but it's all fluid. That whole schedule changes day to day.
So it's September. Well, what's even more, I guess you could say, emotional is that's 9/11 anniversary as well. September 11th through the 13th in Billings with the PBR is the schedule. I hope it happens, and I hope I can come down because it's not like I'll be doing any football this weekend or this year. So, for a multitude of reasons. One, because there's not going to be any, and two, because I don't have a job.
Bless your heart.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, but and you're right. I'll let you get to it. If you've traveled around this country, it's hard to imagine a lot. I mean, I've been to Vegas. I spent a month in Vegas. I just don't see how a lot of big things are going to happen there unless there's a quick turnaround here and we learn something new about all this. And I don't know. It's not going anywhere. That's the thing is, we hid from it for 3 months and opened up and the numbers go up. It doesn't seem as deadly, doesn't seem to be making people as sick, but it used to be we kept track daily of the death count. Now we keep track of positive cases and not the death count. Mm-hmm. So why is that? Blah, blah, blah. You can go back and forth, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Because one day I'm like, maybe we're overreacting, and the other day maybe we can still be concerned.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I'm not, like I say, I don't do the conspiracy, the politics part. I mean, politics is involved when I go to the bathroom anymore. I mean, it's like, holy crap. But our first event back in the first weekend of August is in Bismarck. That was finalized like Saturday because that was the weekend we were supposed to go to Tulsa. The Trump rally happened at the BOK Center.
Uh-huh.
They took so much heat, they shut that building down. I think that's kind of don't quote me on that. Then we moved it to Wichita, and we were good there. And then the city of Wichita shut everything down as numbers went. So now we're going to Bismarck. That's how quick all this changes.
Yeah. Well, I hope Billings happens. Flint Rasmussen, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. So I'm giving my Auto Concepts Performance of the Week to Jess Lockwood, who hasn't ridden since he pulled his groin, right? Or tore his groin, hamstring?
Tore it. Yeah, he had surgery.
Yeah. This is a guy now that he's gotten into stock contracting. He debuted over the weekend with one of his great bulls, and that's my Auto Concepts Performance of the Week.
There you go.
Because
Rooster Cogburn.
What a great name for a freaking bull. And
right.
And what'd they get, a 92.5 or 89.5 on him his first ride? It looked
89.5 or something. And, it was a really good bull. And Jess was there with bull owner, stock contractor Jeremy Walker. And I think Jess Lockwood brought the bull, and Jeremy Walker went home with him. So, geez, that sounds like a dance or two I went to.
That's a rodeo or two right there.
I think Jess Lockwood made a deal. I think, and Jeremy Walker, a great contractor, young guy. I think he bought the bull from Lockwood, but Jess was like a parent watching their kid at a soccer game, just so nervous and so.
Hey, my brother, when he got married back in 2013, I think it was, I actually took a date to my brother's wedding, and she left immediately after the ceremony and never came back.
She just took off.
She just
did
left.
Did she leave with some? Did she leave with some? She didn't go with somebody.
I don't know. I didn't watch her walk out. It was too painful.
Does that hurt you still, Jason? Is it a
little?
Was
a little
taller than you?
Everybody's taller than me except you. Flint Rasmussen, our guest here. All right, so you're going to be back in Billings. You're Bismarck. Give me the schedule as you know it for the PBR the next couple of months.
Yeah, I'd have to pull it out. I know these are some places we're going, this is pretty close to order. Bismarck, then back to the Lazy E Arena with actually people. The Lazy E has been lighting it up. They have had something every single week.
How awesome is that arena to have?
Yeah, and see, it's a private facility. See, it sits out in the country. It's a ranch, the Lazy E Ranch. So it sits out there by itself. The National High School Finals is going to start there pretty soon, and they have packed that place every week. So I believe we'll be selling tickets there. We're going to the new Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, where the Fort Worth Rodeo was. We still are scheduled for, we're going to Salt Lake. What we're doing right now, give a little insight. Our CEO, the other night, we sat out and had a beer or a glass of wine under his awning. He has this huge motorhome. What a turd. Anyway, he said, be thinking about outdoor arenas, outdoor facilities that maybe their rodeo canceled, maybe of 8,000 seats or more, so that it's worth it to sell half the tickets. And let's, try to figure that out where if we need to leave cities and go somewhere else. So we're going to Salt Lake City, where the Days of 47 rodeo, that's a brand new kind of a stadium there. Mm-hmm. And that rodeo got canceled, but we're scheduled to go there now and do what we do. Still scheduled to go to Springfield, Missouri. Looks like we're still kind of scheduled in Tampa. Boy. Yeah, but we'll see there. Yeah.
Are you allowed to go to Oregon? Because their governor won't let groups of 10 or more hang out.
We did not have, we have a Touring Pro smaller event at Pendleton Roundup, and it's canceled. We did not have an event scheduled in Oregon. However, we were scheduled to go, one of my favorites, to the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. It is no longer on the schedule. So PBR.com, go to the new schedule. I think I shared it on social media as well. And you can see what we're going for. And I bet I could guarantee some of that change. It's,
absolutely. Absolutely. What about Nampa?
See, and I was looking for that and I didn't see it. So I'm not sure what
they canceled their night rodeos, which is a huge deal for that area in Idaho.
Caldwell got canceled.
Yeah, Caldwell, not Nampa.
Just, I think the thing is, like I said, we already have a plan in place to sell these groups of, I hate saying these words, social distance tickets. Where a rodeo like that, where you depend on local volunteers, it's just too much for them to try and figure out, where we as an organization come in with those resources to be able to do it. And it's a different story. Hey, by the way, the old pitcher is drinking Joe Boo's rum right now on Major League.
He's about to get clocked in the head with the baseball bat. Yo, Joe, hey, bartender, Joe Boo needs a refill.
Joe Boo needs a refill. That's right.
All right, so how else is life? Because you don't like to use the word social distance, but women have been social distancing from you for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But life is good. The girls are both. I saw you hung out with both girls, which is great.
Yeah. Paige is working on a big ranch in Eastern Washington that just happens to be owned by her boyfriend's family.
Well,
Shelby is doing a little waiting tables, tending bar, going to ropings every weekend. She's going to a huge breakaway roping in Torrington, Wyoming, and another one in Cheyenne, Wyoming this coming weekend. And that's the thing. Suddenly breakaway roping for women is there's jackpots. I think the one she's going to in Torrington pays $25,000 to win it.
Wow.
And that would completely make my life easier if she could win that and her mother's life easier.
No doubt.
But the rise of breakaway roping, and with not many rodeos going on, there's jackpots and breakaway roping only type events going on. And it's really, I bet Shelby has roped more this year than ever.
That's awesome.
So Paige is I shared it on social media. Paige is doing a goat tying school, 2-day school next month in Belgrade there. So
nice.
They're busy. They're going and getting it. Their mom won some money barrel racing in Kalispell last weekend. Throw that in there too. So yeah, they're pretty good.
It's a great family. With the girls, I'm talking, I believe it's Michael Haugen on Wednesday. Yeah. They got a big Bible camp barrel race coming up next week, somewhere in Montana, and we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. But that's really cool.
Michael's good lady. Yeah.
I don't know if the girls are still barrel racing or if they're just doing the breakaway or the goats.
Roping mostly now. They have one barrel horse that's been recovering from a injury. Well, she tied up, so she hasn't been well. And the other one, I think Mom is getting some time on the old young barrel horse now. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mom puts it together and then lets the girls ride him. I think Mom decided she's taking it for a while, which is good.
Okay, so there's Petey.
No, the horses. Petey is the buckskin horse that Shelby carries the flag out in the arena or on the field at Bobcat games. He's a rope horse. Ice Cube's a gray rope horse.
Isn't there Dave? Paige has Dave, right?
No, Dave is retired.
Oh, okay.
Dave is rickety like me. Paige barrel races on Felix and goat ties on M&M.
Oh.
And ropes on Chester. Okay. And then there's a lot. Lucy is hurt right now. She's a great barrel horse. So
Lucy,
they got
the
all
other one I knew. Yeah.
I don't have him. And the dog, the one-eyed pug Boston Terrier dog that everyone in rodeo knows is Bugsy, the one-eyed wonder dog.
Oh, Bugsy. Yeah, no, it's a great looking dog, man. It's what you need to do is take the dog out to wherever you were back in the spring when you did those majestic photo shoots, and get the dog there with you.
Did I tell you where those were?
Somewhere out east.
And it wasn't really a photo shoot. It was my friend David Allen just took pictures of me. I was standing out in the wind looking out. Yeah, it was southeast Montana on a ranch that my friend Lloyd Ketchum manages.
Oh, yeah, Lloyd.
great bullfighter like Ketchum. I went out and did a little interview deal with him and hung out with him for a couple of days. And that's where that was, southeast, kind of between Miles City and Ekalaka,
Nice.
the greater metropolitan area.
Yes.
Down there.
Yes. Had Senator Daines on a couple of weeks ago. He was going to be in Ekalaka soon, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Steve Daines is a good guy. Yeah.
Right. We talked baseball.
Really?
Because it doesn't look like there's going to be baseball in Montana ever again, minor leagues, which is a bummer.
Do you think ever? Is that the word? Are we losing all the
We're
minor
going to
league
lose. We're going to lose the Pioneer League, but I think they want to continue as some sort of an independent league.
Sure. I want to get some thoughts on that. Here's a little plug. I am about to start releasing some podcasts. According to Flint, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I taped one last week with country music singer Mark Wills.
Ooh.
I have done one with Van Mortensen. A little secret for you. Thursday morning, I am doing one with Rick Sutcliffe.
Nice.
ESPN commentator, former Chicago Cub great, played for drafted by the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I plan to ask him about minor league baseball, some of his experiences, and get his thoughts on kind of what's going on with minor league baseball. Met Rick Sutcliffe 20-some years ago. The same day I met Mark Harmon. It was at Rick Sutcliffe's house. And I'll tell you who I hung out with that night. Rick Sutcliffe, Mark Harmon, and Duron Cherry of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Nice.
In Kansas City.
Hey,
So I'm interviewing Sutcliffe, so I want to get some baseball thoughts from him. He's a good one to talk to.
I'm a little disappointed. You're putting out this podcast now, and what people aren't going to listen to me.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, you'll be good.
My 3 listeners, including my
You'll
dad.
get your 13 people. They're fine.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. No, that's cool though. I caddied in Jan Stenerud's celebrity golf tournament in Bozeman years ago. I caddied for George Brett.
Oh, I've met Brett. He's a good guy.
He's a great dude. So he gave me.
He's a hard ass. He's like just what you see.
Yep.
Isn't he? I mean, he's just that way. Yeah.
He gave me a lot of money to carry his clubs. He got me all the food and drink I wanted. He introduced me to Hank Stram before Hank passed away. But he said, Hank told me he goes, here's my card. Call him up in CBS and tell him I told you to hire you. And I'm like, okay, I'll get right on that. Never made that call.
Keep that ball matriculating down the field.
Yes, exactly.
That was Hank Stram, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep, it was. And then so George was great. He said, you can ask me anything you want, just don't ask me about the Yankees because I effing hate the Yankees.
Yeah.
And he was out at Stacy's one of those nights dancing with one of the poles in the middle of the dance floor. And you know Stacy's very well.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
By the way, it just sold. I found that out last week.
Oh, really?
Stacy sold. It's not in the family anymore. So, but George Brett was. He's got a Gateway Market hat from when my dad was owner of the Gateway Market.
Wow.
So
yeah, those baseball guys. They are. I know a few of them. They're quite the interesting lot. Tommy Lasorda used to come to PBRs once in a while.
Mm.
Oh man, I'll never forget. I know you probably push for time here. We were at the World Finals at Thomas and Mack when we were there, and I walked around the corner, and there was I walk right in between Tommy Lasorda and Michael Buffer.
Ooh.
And I said, "Well, I guess I'm not the most famous person here tonight." Michael Buffer looked at me like I had 3 heads and had more makeup on than I did and a better tan. And Lasorda was like, "Shut up, Flint. Keep walking."
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that's the reception you get when you go to Missoula, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Right.
Hey, keep up the good fight. You're doing great.
We're plugging away with the PBR, and like I said, I hope people understand we're different than. Don't get on your local rodeo for canceling. They have no choice.
Yep.
We're in a different situation with kind of some corporate structure differences there, but our CEO and the staff in the office of the PBR can't imagine what they've been through. It's crazy.
I don't think Sean Gleason has slept probably more than a couple hours a night since March.
No. But have you ever seen his wife? He's fun.
No, I have not.
But I'm tired. Every test, and I'll let you go. Got 3. It was up the nose, up one nostril. Not bad. Vegas, it was the throat swab. Not bad at all. Sioux Falls, they were dressed in hazmat suits. I thought we had just got bombed by a nuclear bomb. Older ladies, they went up one nostril, pulled it out, went up the other nostril, and I could have sworn to God they were running a toothbrush. It was awful. Ooh. It was terrible. So I am tired of it. I've been tested 8 times and I'm sick. So far, it's the only virus I've tested negative for. Hey,
well, I was going to. Hey, speaking of real quick, I love I'm going to show the camera angle that shows it. I love your Cooper Tires autographed jersey that you sent me. That I have over my John Wayne stand-up. I was hanging out with Dave and Allie at XL Country in Bozeman last week.
Yeah.
They have an actual Flint Rasmussen stand-up.
They did. They made that. It was a flat Flint where it promoting. Oh, I can't remember. It might have been the Livingston little PBR. They're good folks, Dave and Allie.
No, Dave and Allie are great. Because I started up XL Country. I was the first morning guy and first program director.
Oh, you were? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, XL turns 20 on August 21st, and we're working on some stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to be on their morning show, and I signed on XL
station.
Country.
They're good people there.
It used to be even better. We used to play a lot of the legends. Here's some trivia. The first song that played on XL Country, Waylon Jennings, Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way?
Really?
Yep. Wow. The first of 2,500 commercial-free songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
That's trivia.
That's sort 20 years ago.
That's almost as good a trivia as when I got asked Brett Favre's first completed pass was to who? What Hall of Famer?
I don't know.
Himself. It got deflected. And
that
he
is
caught
true.
It.
Yes, I remember that now. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, did you ever meet Charlie Daniels?
Oh, I was around Charlie. Yeah, good topic, actually. Lost Charlie last week. I was around Charlie quite a bit. He was on my Vegas show, my Outside the Barrel stage show a couple times. The mayor of Vegas came on and gave him a Charlie Daniels Day. We did it on my show. I saw him backstage at the PBR finals one year, the NFR, up in a suite at the NFR, called me by name, visit with about whatever you wanted. Just a great, kind man. Yeah. Great guy.
Tough to lose him, especially this now, what's going on. So,
right.
A great American, I'll say that.
Yeah. Charlie was a great guy.
Hey, I appreciate it. You're a great guy too.
I try.
Oh, by the way, I still want, I need you and your brother to do some duet with some cute little girl on the Twitter.
Oh, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
What's her
name? Chevelle?
Chevelle Shepherd?
Yeah.
Yeah, the winner of The Voice?
Yeah.
Look at us. You're just leading me into name dropping. Here, I'm friends with Chevelle. We're buddies. Yeah, we need to sing. I'll talk to her.
How?
We got to do that.
How often do you name drop with the Jason Walker name?
Oh, all the time. I'm about to head outside my apartment here. I'm big time. I live in an apartment in Billings on the west side. I'm making the west side signal right now.
Nice.
I'm going to go tell everybody. I live in the first place on the main floor right outside the main door, so every dog in the place I own says they crap right outside my window.
That's awesome.
So it's a lot. It's really touching. So I'm going to tell them all, hey, I was just on the Jason Walker show.
You know what you need to do is call up your good friend, the governor of South Dakota, and name drop my name.
Christy.
Because I would love to get her on my show.
Sean Gleason can give you her number. She probably would be on your show.
I have. I've reached out to our governor. He won't come on. So.
Oh, really? Hey, I'll be complete up front here. Like I always say, I got my picture taken. Steve Bullock, I think Steve Bullock's a great guy. I've talked to him a little bit too. So, again, the governor of a state, I get my picture taken with Governor Bullock any day. You bet.
Well, it's because they want to take their picture with Flint Rasmussen. You are
if he wanted.
Yes.
If he wanted.
Yes, if he wanted to, right. Hey, Take care. Thank you for enlightening us for the last 45 minutes. Always a pleasure to chat with you. I know time flies when when you're just having fun.
That's right.
But I'm not on radio, so it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Hey, let's do it again. Hey, I'll give you updates anytime.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk soon.
Okay, buddy.
That is Flint Rasmussen joining us, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. There you go. PBR set to return to Billings September 11th through the 13th in association with the Nile. That is fantastic. And we'll have more info as it becomes closer. Segment brought to you by Rutgers Furniture. We're going to go long a little bit, and we'll come right back. Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rutgers Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rutgers, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rutgers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918. Or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back. This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark's got a heck of a deal going on. If you book your senior portrait package or your family portrait package or any portrait package through Mark and mention you heard it on the Jason Walker Show, you get a free 8x10 canvas or matte print. And if you purchase anything at marklaroephotography.com, you'll get 20% off just by mentioning the show. That photo back there behind me, off my left shoulder or my right, depending on how we're looking, that is one of Mark's fantastic works. And it was taken at the Townsend NRA Rodeo not too long ago, a few years ago. So there you go. That is fantastic. marklaroephotography.com. All right. So I told you I had some thoughts on the Washington Redskins. They came out today, said that they were going to change their name and logo. So I got this sent to me. This is an email that was sent to Clarence Page of the Chicago Tribune after an article he published concerning the name change for the Redskins. Okay, just listen to it in its entirety. It says, "Dear Mr. Page, quote, I agree with our Native American population. I am highly jilted by the racially charged name of the Washington Redskins." Continuing. "One might argue that to name a professional football team after Native Americans would exalt them as fine warriors, but nay, nay. We must be careful not to offend, and in the spirit of political correctness and courtesy, we must move forward. Let's ditch the Kansas City Chiefs, the Atlanta Braves, and the Cleveland Indians. Now, if your shorts are in a wad because of the reference the name Redskins makes to skin color, then we need to get rid of the Cleveland Browns. The Carolina Panthers, obviously, were named to keep a memory of militant blacks from the 60s alive. That's gone. It's offensive to white folk. The New York Yankees offend the Southern population. Do you see a team named for the Confederacy? No. There is no room for any reference to that tragic war that cost this country so many young men's lives. You could also argue that the New York Yankees, this is my thought, chronic teenage boys could have a problem being called New York Yankees. Continuing with the email. I am also offended by the blatant references to the Catholic religion among our sports teams' names. Totally inappropriate to have the New Orleans Saints, Los Angeles Angels, or the San Diego Padres. Then there are team names that glorify criminals who raped and pillaged. We are talking about the horrible Oakland Raiders, soon to be Vegas Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. But wait, there is more. Now let us address those teams that clearly send the wrong message to our children. The San Diego Chargers promote irresponsible fighting or even spending habits. Wrong message to our children. The New York Giants and San Francisco Giants promote obesity, a growing childhood epidemic. Wrong message to our children. Cincinnati Reds promote downers and barbiturates. Wrong message to our children. Milwaukee Brewers, well, that goes without saying. Wrong message to our children. So there you go. We need to support any legislation that comes out to rectify this travesty because the government will likely become involved with this issue as they should, just like the kind of thing the do-nothing Congress loves. As a diehard Oregon State fan, my wife and I, with all this in mind, suggest it might also make some sense to change the name of the Oregon State women's athletic teams to something other than the Beavers, especially when they play Southern Cal. Do we really want the Trojans sticking it to the Beavers? I always love your articles, and I generally agree with them. As for the Redskins name, I would suggest they change the name to Foreskins to better represent their community, paying tribute to the dicks in Washington, D.C. End quote. That is awesome. I will post that and share it because it is true. And remember, that is a letter that was written to Clarence Page of the Chicago Tribune. Yes. Yes. Oh, my goodness. All right, what else do we want to chat about real quick? Today is July the 13th, National Beans and Franks Day, National Delaware Day. I don't think Delaware is claiming anything awesomeness right now, especially their senator. Old senator, who's now running for president. National French Fry Day today. On this day in 1881, at Wimbledon, William Renshaw beat defending champ John Hartley in straight sets for the first of his 7 Wimbledon singles titles. In 1885, it became 5 straight titles for Renshaw, and then in 1886, his 6th consecutive Wimbledon championship for William Renshaw. 1919, Chicago White Sox pitcher Carl Mays walks off the mound, blaming teammates for lack of support in the field. 1926, Paavo Nurmi, the Flying Finn, runs a world record 3,008.20.4. 1934, Babe Ruth hit his 700th career home run. 1950, the doctors removed 7 bone fragments from Ted Williams' elbow. He's still the greatest hitter of all time. 1962, the Open in Britain, Royal Troon, Arnold Palmer goes back-to-back, wins by 6 strokes. 1963, future Baseball Hall of Famer Early Wynn wins his 300th and last Major League game. He was 43. Happy birthday, George Bradley, born in 1852, American baseball player, threw the first no-hitter in MLB history in 1876. 1944, Erno Rubik was born. He's a Hungarian inventor who invented the Rubik's Cube. He was born in Budapest, Hungary. 1956, Michael Spinks was born. Won gold at the Olympics in 1976. And 1963, Spud Webb was born in Dallas. One death today. George Steinbrenner passed away on this date in 2010. He was 80. He had a heart attack. And the owner of the Yankees, controversial owner of the Yankees as well. So there you go. The walk-off now. It is brought to you by the Cafe Zydeco. And we get to it.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Oh, man, we had a lot of fun talking to Flint Rasmussen. Always appreciate Flint joining us. The PBR, Bismarck in August, and supposed to be in Tampa, Salt Lake, a couple other places in between, Springfield, Missouri, and also Billings, September 11th through the 13th, and in association with the Nile. That is fantastic. And our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week, if you missed it, Volberg cowboy Jess Lockwood, two-time PBR world champ, is now into stock contracting. He hasn't been able to ride because he tore his hamstring, but back in February or March. But he is he's got a pretty good bull named Rooster Cogburn, who performed well in his first ride, 89.5 they got on him at the PBR in South Dakota over the weekend. So there you go. Got a big show coming up tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. We've got some great guests lined up. I'll tell you about them each day as we move forward. It's good to be back. We'll get all the technical stuff worked back out. Thanks to Flint for joining us. Walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco. Helena Bozeman Billings. Make sure you stop by. Help out those who help out this show. Jason Walker Show. Back tomorrow at 4. If you missed anything, as always, go to jasonwalkershow.com. And if anybody knows how to get a hold of the governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, please have her give me a call. We'll see you tomorrow at 4. Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.